How we doing? How's everybody? All right, got a new spray bottle from my water because that one just doesn't like me anymore. Okay. All right. Okay. Hello. How are you? This is Bima's Crafty Corner. This is the corner. I'm Bima, better known as Els. And we are working on our what are we calling this thing? It's a detective journal. There's a name for it. I don't remember what it is. It's too early in the day. So we do have a pad of paper that we're using some pieces out of, not all of it, but like the wall will work. This typing stuff might work. The diagonal lines can work. Of course, we're using the paper that looks like writing paper, things like that. It's an album journal. Good morning, Miss Mari. Hello, Nicole. Hi, kitty. Uh-oh. I said, hi, kitty. And here he is. Good morning, Harry. How are you, my love? I know the doggies chased you today, and yeah. Not eating any dog food today, though, huh? No? Yesterday getting sick was enough? Okay. All right, so we're going to get to that in a minute. I went to Daiso yesterday because I was all out of, the little stickers that I use on the stuff for sales. And they didn't have the right size. They had one pack of these, and then they had the ovals. And I don't like the ovals very much. But, there's 525 in there. But there's only 135 in these ovals. But that was all they had. And I went to the Daiso across town. There's still 2 more I can look. So I'll go look some more. Sandy's in the house. Miss Michelle. Good morning, my dear. So, yes, I went to Daiso and I got those. And they had no washi tape. I was disappointed. No washi tape. A trip to Daiso with no washi tape just doesn't sound right. But I did get this cool spray bottle. Kind of cool. So I got that. You need to get down. You need to get down, please. And then I got my pack of paper towels. This is the one that I keep on my desk, right next to my desk. It's actually not the same one, but it's close. It's not the one I like, but it'll work. Good morning, Christine. Could you get down, please? Down. No, we're not having a showdown here. I'm going to stay until you give me treats. No, you're getting down. I'm not giving you any Auntie Carla treats. It's not happening. I'll give you some more kibble treats, but that's it. Come on. Yeah. Let your tummy lead you. Come on, before Gigi eats them. Here's your knee. Get down. Down. Knee, floor, you, go. Thank you. So I found a couple of things. One, I found these were just sitting next to the paper towels. I've never seen them there before. These are table napkins, musical score, and I had to open them up to see. They are single ply, but they're really, as far as napkins go, they're pretty dang strong. I mean, they tear, yes, obviously, but they're more like tissue paper than, just regular. So I grabbed a pack of those. Actually, I grabbed 2 packs of them, which means I now have 49 of them because I just killed one. But I was like, that can't be 25 napkins. How can that be 25 napkins? And it's so thin. And then I opened it up and I went, oh, they're already clean. They're just single ply. Okay. But they're kind of a cool musical score. So I don't know. I might put those in giveaways. And then I found this. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I don't know why I was just attracted to it. So there's 4 patterns. You get 3 sheets of each. And it comes with a cool paper clip. Look, we all know how much I love those. Look at how they did this. Oh my God. It's like little steps. They put little steps in it. How cool is that? I like that. And it's just plain cardstock. I'm keeping that. Okay. But this stuff is just a hair under 6 by 6. It is 14.5 by 14.5 centimeters. Okay. But look at how pretty. Right? And it has a nice feel to it too. The bottom is a little glossy, but the top is like, if you've ever had any of my cotton paper, that's what it feels like. It feels like my cotton paper at the top. But look at how pretty this is. And I thought, some of this we might be able to actually incorporate into the album journal that we're currently doing. I don't know, but we're going to put it over here for now. Hi, hubby. So that's what I did yesterday. And I didn't get half the stuff done that I needed to. I did go, though, and get some more Michelle boxes, so because I used them all for the last sale. All right. And I want to cover this one real quick. We'll cover it again at the end, but I want to do it right now so I remember. The die cut swap in the Facebook group has been posted. Miss Mari, I have your information. I'm going to send it for you, okay? So basically, you're going to mail it by the 12th. Today's the 7th. You have 5 days. If for any reason you can't mail by the 12th, let me know. But they should receive it no later than 5/23. If you can't get it to them by then, let me know so that I can let them know, okay? And I will be going in and Arlene is going to send to Michelle. Michelle is going to send to Mary Kay. I have some shipping information for you, Michelle. Michelle is going to send to Jennifer P. Mary's going to send to Jennifer P. Jennifer P. is going to send to Janie Hicks. Janie Sills. Janie Sills is going to send to Mari. Mari is going to send to me, and I'm going to send back to Arlene. So we're round robining this thing. So, Miss Mari, I put you ahead of me so that it was easy for you to know who you were sending, how you were sending it, because you got my address already. So I did that so it was easy. No pressures. I wanted you to have an easy, so you're sending to me. Okay? Hello, Brian. All right, so that's it for that. Let's take a look at what we've got. Why are we calling this an album journal? Because this is a scrapbook album. It is 3 inches. It's a 3.5-inch spine, okay? And this is fabric. And it has these, this is an album. It's for making a scrapbook, like a photo album kind of thing. So we're using it to make a journal out of it, which I think is a really cool idea because you get extra elements in it. And then to add to that, we also have the inserts for it. So some of the inserts, so we're going to be using those throughout it as well. So lots of different options here. So this is our front page. We're not quite sure we're done with it yet, but and then you flip it, and we're putting in tabs, and we have a journal card here that we have to work on because it's too thin for the pocket because we used the gussets. But when you flip this open, you have some writing space, and then you have 2 journal tags, 2 pockets, and journal cards in there, and those are finished on the back. And then over here we'll have a signature. There'll be a signature in. And then over here we have a nice big pocket with a nice journal card and a nice tab to turn it. Nice big page for writing. And then over here we have a dimensional, I don't know if you guys can see, but it pops off the page. We have a dimensional frame of Sherlock Holmes with a belly band and a giant journaling card, which is fabu. A little bit of washi tape. And then we have a small pocket over here with this nice, and I love these because they're finished on the inside as well. Like a nice pocket, you know, that you can put stuff in, a nice envelope that you can take out and put in. And we did a little burnt paper on it, like that's the evidence, you know. Now this has a tab at the bottom. Why? Because it flips up like this, and you have writing space here on the top, and you have writing space here. You can do some journaling here or on this card, which we have to finish the card. We're going to finish that card so that it stays in there. And this one we did not gusset, so the card stays nice. Would you please not love on my journal? And then over here we have a flip out pocket, and we haven't quite gotten to it yet. So there's the tab that needs to be put on. And then on the other side, we have this little pocket that we're going to put on, but we have to put the background. We're going to put a tab here. And then here we have another one of those pockets. We just haven't kind of figured out what we're doing yet with that part. So this is where we are for now. I'm going to take this off, put it there. So we open that up. This is one of the flip pieces that came out of here. We cut it down to the size we want it. And I think we're putting it right like here. So that it, you know, but we have to do the background first. Scram. So I don't know quite where we're going with this, but we do have a lot of papers and we have a lot of washi tapes. We're going to get our washies out today because it takes up a lot of space in the bag. Whoop. I got to remember to go and pick up my digitals today. I ordered some digitals for the Matchbox, you know, kit that's in the shop because I sold 3 of them and then realized that I lost all of those in the fire. So, yeah. Luckily, that file for printing, it was in my printing file for the Office Depot. So I was able to just kind of send them, you know, hey, print that file for me. And they got it printed. So here's all the papers we're using. These are our signatures. We have 3 signatures. We might do a 4th. I don't know. There's 4 sections in there where we could put them. I'm talking a mile a minute today, aren't I? Everything's better with washi. Yes, we all know how much I love my washi. And of course, this paper is not all for this, specifically for this journal. This is, but this is kind of my standard go-to vintage look paper. And so I have multiple copies of it. And I keep these on hand to be able to fill in where I need to. So this is kind of our, we've already cut into it section of paper. Whole pages, new page, which I printed up really because I just want kind of this stuff, the top secret, confidential, priority, that kind of thing, but we might use it. This is our pack of ephemera. And now I do have this that I bought off of Temu, but the truth is that you can, you know, obviously you can see if you flip this up, I actually bought this paper set. Okay. But I got Temu to print for me kind of thing. We have some 6x6 that is of the same paper pad that I had earlier. That is part of the 12x12. And then this is, you know, some of the flips and pockets and things that come in here. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so let's figure out what we're going to do on the back of this, you know, like in the background, because we know that we're going to do that little flip wherever I put it. It's here someplace. There it is. Okay, so we know we're going to do this little flip on here, right there. So I'm thinking we're just going to put some writing paper on this. Like, we'll put the writing paper and then that'll be in front of it. So you can flip it out of the way to right. I think that's a good plan. What do you guys think? I think it's a good plan. All right, we're going to do that. So I'm going to get out the trim for this. Let me grab it. I want to do the decal, so we'll do the decal edge. Which reminds me, I have a video coming up. I'm working on it. I hear a lot from people about how they loathe the available tearing rulers. So, because they're, even this decal trimmer, I mean, let's be honest, it's fun, but it's redundant. It's the same decal all the way down. By the way, you should say decal at least once a day because it's a fun word. So at least once a day, just decal. Yeah, it's fun. All right, so let me get this off here. Okay, and so I have a video coming up where we're going to take these, let me get this put away, these dollar store rulers, the plastic ones. We're going to make decal edges out of them. Yeah, get all our frustrations out. Okay, so this is a giant piece, and let's make sure we've got everything. So that's our flip. So you're going to see just the edge right there. Let's move it over just a little bit because I don't want to see that edge. There. So we'll do it like that so we don't see the edge. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. I'm trying to decide if I want to run this through the Xyron. It's probably easier to get enough glue on it to glue it down. Nah, we'll use Blick. Let's ink first. Well, some people do, but there is a large group of people that are like, I don't know. I'm just, it's too uniform for some people. They want something that's a little bit more unique or less of a pattern. And so we're going to work on a project to make, or maybe you don't have one because, to be honest, they're a little pricey. I mean, the Fiskars ones, which are huge and really not great for junk journaling, they're $15 a piece, That's ridiculous. Let me get out mat because we're going to do a lot of gluing here. That is too small. Let's get the big one. There we go. Oh, that's better. Look, yes, much better. So we're going to go and we're going to make our own decal edge for people that, maybe don't have one, or they don't like the one they have, or, whatever. We're going to make one. It's going to be fun. We're going to take our aggressions out. Okay. That, get this out of the way. All right, so this is the Blick glue, which is probably the only stick glue I would work this with. Haha. You can get this online. It's not that expensive, but it's a nice size stick. Okay. And then I'm just going to make sure that my corners are well down. Oh, look at that. Isn't that precious? I pulled the ball right off the top. Pliers. Oh. I do so love when my equipment decides it doesn't want to work. I have to get out a new ball pen. Get this edges glued down nicely, if I can. Of course, there's no glue. The glue's not working because it needs the pen. Let me grab the pens. Where did I put them? I knew I have them. I just have to find them. Here, pens. Here, penny pens. Here they are. Okay, let's see if that improved it. No. Oh, wait, I got a little bit. Got a little bit of glue. There we go. Let's check this one. Needs a little help. Just a tad up there. And how about this one? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. All right. So with that there, and then this is going to go right here. I probably should have put this down first so that I could cover the flap with the paper, but I didn't, so washi it. All right. So glue on this flap. Glue on the flappy. And so we'll put some washi on there. No big deal. So how was everybody's, me weekend? I haven't seen you guys in like 2 days. What's going on? How's everything going? How's everybody doing? What's the weather? Come on. Tell me. It rained here for 3 days. It started Sunday and it didn't stop until yesterday. Which is like got to be a record because, Vegas. We set a rainfall record on Monday for a single day rainfall. Because we just don't get rain, It's not a big on the list kind of thing around here. I think we get officially we get 2 rainy days a year. Let's see. What are we going to put here? I think I'm going to use this. Do the same thing there. Raining, pouring. Let's see. I'm going to use the Blick for this, but it always makes my fingers so gooey. But, hey, what the hell? There we go. A wonderful season of mud, right? No, she talks about Mike's alarm. Sounds like the damn Derby. And he has his morning timed, All right, we're going to do a little tearing here. I don't want to use that. Let's do. Should we? Yes, we will. If I can find it. It's here someplace. I know it is. Yep, here it is. And some skeezers. All right, let me cut a piece of this. About as wide as I believe tape should be. And then get out the fancy scissors. They put such a fancy edge on it. Big hats in the pouring rain. Yeah, imagine that would be kind of funny. I did not watch the Derby this year. I put this washi tape over too far. So we're going to pick it up, use a different kind of glue and move it over just a little bit because it's a little too... Come on, glue. Try this again. See, and this is what happens to your glue bottle if you don't use glue for 2 days. I did not use glue for 2 days. I didn't. I was packaging stuff and getting it shipped out and working in the store. And there we go. So the more and more that I've thought about it, the more I believe that Hubbard might be onto something with that storefront place. You know? Because I can do so much with it. I was telling you guys, so we're looking for, our last home, our retirement. And there's a small, it's not a small town, but it's not a big, big town. Was it in Oklahoma, honey, or in Kansas?
I believe it was in Kansas.
So in Kansas, I think it's between Topeka and Wichita. And it is an old red brick storefront with a 4-bedroom house upstairs. So you got 4 bedrooms upstairs, and the whole bottom floor is dedicated to the shop. It has a small storefront, and then it has a big warehouse in the back. And the more and more I think about it, the more and more I say, this might be a good plan. One, most importantly, safety. It lets me have my creative reuse that I want, where I'm going to run an online store as well, but I'm going to have a physical store. But it also allows me to flip a switch, lock everything up, turn on the alarm, and not have to leave the building to go home, because I can just go into the back and up the stairs. It gives me a storefront to use for sales, and it also gives me the space that I want to do the other things that I want to do, which is like I want to have craft kits for kids where they can come in and they can, make Mother's Day cards or Father's Day cards or Christmas cards or brag books or memory books, things like that. And like they're very inexpensive because, stuff. And where I can have seniors come in and, do sewing or crafting or, grandma brag books and things like that. Where I can have adults come in and for date night to do like wine and paint, those kinds of things, and I can have my store and I can do like a mixed media night where people come in and we, adults being silly finger painting and stuff like that. So the more and more I think about it, the more and more that's kind of the idea that I like. And it's not in a bad location. it's like literally right down the street from the fire department and the city works. So it's in that kind of downtown area, but it's, you know, in an area where city services are. So, you know, they're right there. They're on top of that, you know. So it's just an idea at this point. It's an idea. We're thinking about it. Okay, let's see. I kind of like Sherlock's chair, you know, here. We have his door on the other side. So, like, if you flip it open, you should see his living room, right? Right. Okay, we're going to do that. Let's cut this sucker down. Okay, we're going to take that, and then we'll trim this all the way around, and then we'll figure out where we need to cut it. I cut so many labels with this thing, it's getting sticky. Sticky. All right, let's measure and see what we need. Yeah, I'm going to measure this. We all know I'm going to screw it up. So, all right, it is 6 inches from the fold. And 8.5. So 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. Let's see if we can do that. 5 3/4. Oh, well, you know, that's not going to work. Let me get the big cutter. Oops. That wasn't good, else. Oh, no, this piece is not going to be wide enough. Because it's just about 5 1/8. That sucks. All right, washi tape to the rescue. All right, I'm going to trim off this part because I don't like it. And then we're going to washi tape. And we need this to be 8 3/4, so it's probably not going to be long enough here. But, you know, hey, we'll try it. Nope. It's 7 3/4, so it's an inch too short. But that's okay. No, 7 3/4 is exactly what we need, I think, for height. Hey. I just put that on the floor right by Ozzy's butt. He just looked at me like, you expect that to stay there? All right, so let's put this over this way, and then we'll put some washi tape over here. We'll do this one. I love this one so much that I actually ordered 4 of these just before they put the tariffs on. Well, you know. I use it a lot. I do. I was right at Blick yesterday. I should have bought more of these. I know I'm going to run out. I always do. I always run out, and then I don't go to that side of town often, so I go like weeks without having it. And then I'm like, I need it. So, okay, so we're going to put it this way. Over here, just a little bit. And we'll wiggle it just a little bit. Okay, then deep. Now we have this one. We have this one. Or we have the clocks. Ooh, the clocks. No, needs to be wider. So we're going to use this one. Let's see what we got. Short piece. Medium-sized piece. What the heck did I do here? I don't know. This is what I get for putting tape back on the rolls. Here we go. I think I found it. There we go. That's a piece. And it is just wide enough. Okay. Just long enough, just wide enough. It's actually a little too wide, so we're going to take a piece off of there. I need to go back to doing this the way that I used to do it, where I put the excess on a piece of plastic. I don't like to waste it, you know? All right, we're going to put that right there. Blue. Hey, we even got the writing going in the right direction. That's impressive. Okay, Miss Michelle. The rules on the die cut swap are very simple. You can put whatever you want in a legal size envelope. Now, I don't say that there's, a maximum, but at least 10, decent die cuts in at least a legal size envelope. Now, if you want to send a 6x9, that's up to you. But because nobody's ever going to know. The only person that's going to know is the person that gets it. That's why we do this round robin, so that somebody doesn't send theirs off and go, oh, well, I sent off a big packet and I only got this back. No, we do it by round robin. That way everybody gets something different and nobody gets, butthurt. Because I hate when people get butthurt over something silly. All right, this needs some love. It's not quite there yet. Let me grab a sheet of plastic to put this on. Look, every little piece of washi must be saved. Unless it's completely, worthless. And I've never met worthless washi tape. But I do have to say this one has to get moved up a little bit because it's a little... I'm going to start door dashing again. That's another thing I need to tell you guys. Because, that's part of the way I pay for the trips. Is door dashing. All right, so we need something here. Let's go into our bag of tricks and see what we got. All right, let's see. We have Astounding. I think that goes over there. I'm putting that there. Okay. Glue. Ink. I might. But I am going to go back out and start door dashing again. I actually enjoy it. It's fun. And, it was fun at one point, and then it wasn't, and now it's going to be fun again. Oh, so much stuff, guys. There's so much stuff for me to continue to go through and get sorted. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, consignment, fire, departure. There's just a lot of stuff that happened in like a very brief 60-day period. I was like, oh my. Okay, we're gonna put this up here, just like that. Where's my wink? I need my wink. There's my wink. Just a little more. Okay. All right, what do we think of that? So when we open this, which is the door, we end up in the apartment. There's this violin. Over here is a case card. Flip it. You got a little thing here and that, and then plenty of writing space. And that's what's on the other page. So I think it all works. By the way, this, and this all came from 112 by 12. I know, right? Freaking awesome. All right, let's finish this card. We're going to use this, and that's going to be the end of that 12 by 12 sheet. So, let me grab my decal trimmer real quick just to give it a full decal edge. Decal edge, decal. I'm telling you, say decal at least once a day. You'll live longer. You will. If you can't get it to decal, use your scissors. Okay. Okay. All right, so we got that. And I'm thinking a nice black background. Let's measure this puppy. Where did my ruler go? There it is. All right, so this card is 7, let's see, 6 1/4 by 4 3/4. So we'll go 4.5 by 6. 4.5 by 6. Let's see if we have. I mean, we have cardstock. We've got a piece. Yep, we got a piece we can cut 4.5 by 6. All right. 4.5 by 6. 1/2. 6. 4.5 by 6. Let's. I don't know if I want to chafer them or let's fancy them up. Let's make them fancy. A little fancy, you know. Darcy, just a bit fancy. Don't have to be majorly fancy, just a little fancy. I love that word, fancy. And we'll put that on there. So let's get some ink on it. Well, what I figure is if I do it right, I can keep the stores, you know, both my Etsy and the online reuse open even when I'm on the road, because if I label everything correctly and put it where it's supposed to be, hubby, who's a total homebody, should be able to find it and get it in the mail. So, and then if I do the inventory system correctly it'll take it, from whatever store that it's sold from. It'll take it out of the other store for me automatically. And it'll give me a report on what was sold as far as location, so that when I get back, I can refill that spot with something new. Which hopefully, if I'm on the road, I find something that can fill that spot. You know what I mean? That would be ideal. But, sometimes I find stuff and sometimes I don't when I'm out, There's times when I've been on the road where I've hit 3 or 4 towns and gone, nothing. And then I hit the 5th town and I'm like, woohoo! Because it's the mother load, Sometimes I sit on stuff for a while. I had some things in the shop that I sat on for about a year. And then a woman made me a cash offer on the whole lot. And I accepted it because, 1, I've had it for about a year. But 2, the cause that she was using it for was actually pretty good. She was making journals for cancer patients. That's what she does for her church. And I thought that was fantastic. So, yeah, I'm going to accept her offer. All right. So now that's the back of our journal card, which I think is kind of cool. Very in theme. And we're going to put it in here. Oh, okay. So now that's our spread. And there will be a signature or something in the middle. So let's put our tab on. And this was a top tab. Yes? Yes. Yeah, because if we put it out here, it's not going to, So, and we don't want to put it there because if we put it there, we could put one there, realistically. But I think you kind of can tell it's a flip.
Hey, Josh, this is Mike with Cox Advanced Technical Support.
Get a little lift going here.
301252226. If this is not the correct number to get a hold of Alex Azzotti, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could just give us a call, let us know that. Wonderful, so that we know we're calling the wrong person. Otherwise, just looking to follow up on this phone issue. We can be reached 24/7 at 1-844.
We're gonna sneeze in there.
0742. Thank you. Okay. Technical support. Have yourself a fantastic day now.
Ugh. Hey now, let's not be eager. We're gonna go on the page. Yes, we are. Okay, and now we'll do the other side. Thank you, Bobby. Okay. All right, so we're gonna. I think that's it for today, guys. We got a full spread done. Let me move this up so you guys can see the whole thing. I think that's fantastic. It's awesome. I love the way this looks. Tomorrow we're going to work on this. This is where we have that kind of mid pocket that we're going to be moving around someplace on here. So we're going to do this one and probably get started on this side. And hopefully have enough time to work on this because that needs some love too. All right, what else? I think that's it for this. Ooh, look, we got rid of another paper clip. Let's put this in here real quick. So Let me get the book. All right, so here's where we're at. This week's video was a 7-pocket mini 1-page wonder. Tomorrow we have a bonus video coming out. It's going to be tea bag pockets. They're adorable. We're going to do art therapy tomorrow, and where we work in our altered books. And then we have a craft with me. And this week's craft with me is altered window envelopes. We're going to be doing some altered window envelopes. I want to get some for this, so we're going to do some. And then we have mixed media. And then on Sunday, we have our game, which is Mother's Day. And then next Monday's video is an over-the-top doily thing. Just so stinking sweet. And that is your deadline to mail your die cut swap. So, hi, Lisa. So the die cut swap. So you're going to mail these out by the 12th, which is next Monday. If it's the 13th or the 14th, that's cool. As long as they get it by like around the 23rd. All right. Arlene is going to send to Michelle. Michelle is going to send to Mary Kay. I'm going to get you some shipping information. Mary Kay is sending to Jennifer P. Jennifer P is sending to Janie. I've already given her that information. Janie is going to send to Miss Mari. Mari is going to send to me, and I'm going to be sending to Arlene and Red as well, because I'm just going to punch a bunch of whale tails for Red. But that's kind of the deal. You didn't get an invoice, Miss Christine? All right, let me look. I know I invoiced you. I just probably didn't get it in there in the email. Hold on. Okay, that's Christine. You know what? You're right. It's sitting right here. I didn't figure out your shipping. That's why. What an idiot. I will get it to you today, my darling, within the hour. I apologize. I am so sorry. I will get it to you because you're over $1 million. Right? So again, Arlene to Michelle, Michelle to Mary Kay to Jennifer, Jennifer to Janie, Janie to Mari, Mari to me to Arlene. And they should try to get it there, guys, by the 23rd. If you do not get anything by the 23rd, which is a Monday, I believe. What is the 23rd? Maybe it's a Friday. I don't know. The 23rd is a Friday. If you don't get it by, say, Saturday, the 24th,
because you know I'm
let me know.
about that bass, no trouble.
Excuse me.
I'm all about that bass, no.
Yes, dear. Hi. Four. Okay. Yeah, it's me. What is this job? Your what? Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. I'll call you back in a little bit because I'm live. I love you too, baby. Bye. Sorry, y'all. When that ring goes off, it's my daughter. And usually she texts me, so if that ring goes off, it's important. Okay. All right. So, what were we? So yeah, 23rd should be the day. If you can't get it by the 23rd, if you don't have it by the 24th, let me know on Monday. Instant message me, email me, whatever. Let me know, and I will reach out and find out what's going on. Okay? So you don't have to be the big bad bully. It'll be me. I'm not a big bad bully. I'll do it very sweetly. Hey, get off your dead ass and send out your shit. I'm kidding. So that is where we are with that. We're going to work on this tomorrow. Work on that one journal card, this one. And this page here with the little floating pocket thing that we decided to do. We're going to work with that and get those together. What else? That's it, guys. That's all I got. So listen, if you're new and you haven't done so already, take your finger and smash the subscribe button, because if I haven't offended you yet, the odds are I probably won't anytime in the near future. Well, okay, I might still, but I won't actively try. That's the thing. What else? Like it. Give me a thumb. Either way. You know what? If you don't like it, that's fine too. Give it a thumb down. It's still an interaction. I don't care. What else? Check out my Ko-Fi for some free digitals, or scoot on over to my Patreon if you are so inclined. There's all kinds of levels over there if you want to be a Patreon. You could even just do the 1 week free, trial thing, just to say, hey, I like what you're doing. That lets me know, Other than that, don't forget to check out the community tab. Tells you everything that I got going on. Nice big fat list there. And you can also get that list over on my Facebook group. There's links to everything in the description box below. Just go down there and push some buttons, Start pushing on some links. It'll take you places. That's it. So until I see you again, 3 things, my friends. 1, stay well, stay hydrated, and stay inside if you can. It's too icky out there. Till then, bye, guys. I love you.